Hello, my name is Antonio Salazar, and for my adopted professor, I covered Professor Daisy Reyes. On this first slide, I have some of her background information, her educative past. One thing I like to point out is that she's also a sociology professor, so obviously that affects her work. Her work's about things having to do with sociology, so I just wanted to mention the definition of sociology. So sociology is defined as the study of social behavior or society, including its origins, development, organization, networks, and institutions. So Professor Reyes' first article that I decided to summarize was Inhabiting Latino Politics, how Colleges Shape Students' Political Styles script. So one thing I really think is important to know about the article before getting into it a little more is what inhabited institutionalism is. Here I have a little more of a formal definition on my slide, but what it really is, as Professor Reyes breaks down, is idealized cultural accounts or ideologies shared across societies. So essentially cultural ideas, and once they become put into use, they become inhabited. So as stated in the title, Professor Reyes' goal was to see how a student's environment in college shapes their political activism, essentially. So she looked at three different colleges: a liberal arts college, a regional college, and a research university. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, she covered three different kinds of universities. So this is the liberal arts college. A little bit about that. They had two political groups, Latinos and Neos, which is political, and Latino Links, which is non-political. Ultimately, after researching them, both groups were found to not be political. They were very grateful to the campus for the support that they gave them and felt a strong connection to their university. So by being politically active, they thought maybe they would be betraying that connection they have to the university. The second university she looked at was a research university. It was a little bit larger, about 25,000 students, about 11% Latino. The campus did not provide the students much support to help them assimilate, and they felt very isolated. So there were two clubs, Latinos United Fraction and Latino Fellowship, were very essential for students' assimilation to the campus. They were like a home away from home, it was said in the article. Both groups were not too political. One group spoke about them, but the other one avoided political controversies in general. The last school she looked at was Regional Public University. It's a commuter college. It was a majority Latino. Students felt no connection with their school. Instead, they took their classes and they left in most cases. Once students got involved in those clubs, they become more political, spent a little more time at the university, but still not feel that connection. They're the only groups that organized strikes and stuff off their campus as well as on their campus. So ultimately, this is showing that a student's location, the university, does affect their political activism and views, as we saw comparing the three universities and colleges. So the second article I decided to look at, Professor Reyes, was Conundrums of Desire, Mexican Origin Mothers' Sexual Discourses. So it's talked about how mothers approached different things about their body to their daughters, how they taught them, and their mentalities. Professor Reyes broke it down into two mindsets, embodied and disembodied. I'm going to break down further as how they approached different things having to do with women's bodies. She interviewed 34 women, 17 mothers, 17 daughters, across different backgrounds. Some were in college, some were not in college at all. So for the embodied, in regards to menstruation, the embodied mindset was you had the choice between tampons or the pad. Mothers gave their daughters the liberty to do so. When in comparison to disembodied, mothers heavily encouraged the pad. They thought that using tampons would cause the daughter to lose their virginity. Similar ideas for masturbation. In the disembodied mindset, men did not even know that women could masturbate. They were not familiar with their bodies. By comparison, the embodied people, mothers' mindsets, were that it was okay. There was a very healthy alternative to sex. And the third thing was virginity. Both groups did encourage their daughters to stay virgins until marriage, but for different reasons. The disembodied mindset was because they thought the men would not like them. People would criticize them if they lost their virginity unmarried. When in comparison to the embodied mindset, they encouraged them not to lose their virginity because they wanted them to love the man that they ultimately lost it to. This is just comparing the two. Oftentimes in media and common knowledge, Latinos, or Latinas specifically, are either hypersexualized or viewed as too conservative or religious. This shows this is not necessarily the case, as you can't really stereotype this group. So that is all from my summary. Those are the two pieces that I read and ultimately decided to summarize for my video. I'd like to thank Professor Reyes. I really enjoyed her work. I found it very interesting. I'd never thought about them. I could relate to both of her pieces as a young Latino male. That really interests me. And have a good day. This is my presentation.